Welcome back to Rachel Hobby and Art. I'm going to talk about these three uGears models that I've built and have. uGears is a company out of Ukraine that makes complex assembly models that don't use glue but can use complex mechanisms and springs and that sort of thing. They're very challenging and fun for adults as well as older children. And there are other companies out there, Roker and Wood Models, but I think uGears was kind of one of the first ones, or at least the most popular. You find these things in woodcraft, woodworking shops, some hobby shops. It just depends on who sells them. But as I say, I have three and I've really enjoyed them. So we have the treasure box, the safe, and the antique box. And they have differing levels of amount of pieces as well as difficulty. So the treasure box, which was the first one I built, has 190 pieces and is considered beginner to medium level. But this one, because it was my first, took me the longest. It took me 15 hours to assemble this thing, and I didn't do it exactly correctly. I'll show each of these individually, but you might be able to tell that the top on here is not exactly where it's supposed to be. The second one I did was the antique box, which is very similar to the amber box, but the amber box has a different colored piece on top. But the instructions are pretty much the same, and the design is the same. So the antique box is considered a medium level of complexity and has 185 pieces. And it took me 6 hours to make it because it was my second box. The third box, the safe, is an advanced level of complexity because it's got a combination lock that you can create your own combination for or use one of the preset ones. That has 179 pieces, and it took me a little over 9.5 hours to make. It would have been just 8 hours to make, but there were pieces that at the end I still had not put on. And so I had to take some of the outside apart to get those on. And so that's bumped me from just almost 8 hours to over 9.5. So I'll go into each one of them, what their special features are, in case you are interested in purchasing them. They're very easy to acquire in the United States through Amazon, through, like I said, through woodworking shops and some hobby shops. Hobby Lobby does not have them, but other ones might. So, and they certainly can be found online. So the first one I did was the treasure box. The treasure box is usually marketed as something that you can make and then put a jewel or something in and present it to a loved one. And so for them to open and see the piece of jewelry you gave them. At least that's kind of the marketing materials that were on it when I got it back in 2018 or 2019. So as I said, this is the first one I got. It's got some, intricate design on the side. You can see some gears inside that do move. And so that's part of how it works. And as I said, this one took me the longest time to put together because I just didn't know what I was getting into. So the way it works is you twist the top, and then this piece comes off. This is actually a key. Twist that top back in place. Mine doesn't twist all the way, and so that's the main problem I had with making this. This actually fits into this spot here, and then you turn it one way or the other. There you go, and it's going to open. Pop. I don't have anything in there right now, but you could put stuff in there. You could probably fit a jewelry box in there, which is kind of what they're suggesting. But you can put puzzles in. I collect puzzles, Hanayama puzzles. Here's a couple of Hanayama puzzles I have right here. There's a Delta. Stick that in there, Cyclone. And they would fit without a problem. Let's see, I believe it. Yeah, it comes back the other way, and yeah, fits right in there. So I've had this for obviously several years. I don't believe this one has rubber bands. Some of them do. Some of the models do have rubber bands, and I kind of wonder if over time they might snap. but this one just uses gears, and so that's a nice thing to have. The other two that I'll show, they definitely have rubber bands. So anyway, that's the treasure box. Take the key out, pop this back in, and that one's done. When I saw the antique box and when I saw what it could do, I was like, I must have that. So actually, I got this one as a gift for either my birthday or Christmas or something. It's got a lot more going on. Well, it only has 185 pieces compared to the first one I showed, which has 190. And it's a more of a medium medium difficulty build. It does have rubber bands inside. So it open up, hold this piece, open the box. These two drawers fold out. We've got two inner compartments and two drawers come out. I've got paper clips and binder clips in there. And then there's these two, they call them secret compartments, but they're not really secret when you can see them. I keep a ring in this one. It's a college ring. So that's kind of what you can hold in it. It's something small. You wouldn't be able to fit a Hanayama puzzle in here anywhere unless you did one of the flat ones in the drawer, but that would be heavy and may disrupt the flow. I can see this being used for jewelry, as a jewelry box. I'm sure most people do use it for a jewelry box. There's plenty of room for all kinds of little things in there. But I'm not a jewelry person, so I have binder clips, paper clips, and pen inserts. And that's what I've had for years, since I made it somewhere about 2019 I made this. But I like the overall design. It didn't take me as long to make it as, say, the first one, but it was still a fun puzzle to make. This one probably could use a little bit of repair. It was built in North Carolina. It is now in eastern Tennessee and kept in the basement, which gets dry. And I think there's been some sort of wood movement. In fact, when I put it back, the lid seems to be warped up. And there's nothing really keeping that from going down. I think it's just, I'm trying to tell if it's hitting anything. I mean, no, I don't really think it is. And so I think there's just the wood is warped a little bit. I've had some other wood changing events in this basement. This one is hanging down a little differently. I don't think it was like this when I made it. So that's how well it ages, I guess. This last one is the safe. This was the third one I made. It is a lot larger than I thought. I thought it was going to be the same size as this guy. Maybe like this tall. I didn't realize it would be so large. But that's okay. Its size is not a problem for me. I have places to put it. So it does have a combination on the front to be able to access the interior. Otherwise, it just has decorations on the side. There's not much really going on in the back. So continuing around. So with this one, they gave you about 3 combinations that you could program yourself, or you could come up with your own. But because of the complexity of these types of things, originally I was going to make my own, but I realized let's not fool around. So I came up with one of theirs. So let's go ahead and get working on that. Boom. This thing turns down. It's ready to open. Now, because of the combination parts are right here, and then they have this huge dollar sign that covers that up. So that takes about this much space out of the inside of your safe. Inside, I've got different puzzles. You got a couple puzzles down here that give you a shelf, And I've got a puzzle up here. This is a German puzzle. It's a packing puzzle. And then the other two are just your simple puzzles you can get, brain teasers. But they were ones I didn't have, so I bought them recently from a hobby store with a discount. So, yes, they do give you a shelf, but the shelf is removable, so you can go without having that. It's a lot of space. Even though you lose this much, you still have a lot of space. So I'm going to use it for holding puzzle boxes and puzzle items. An additional item they have is up at the top, there's this thing. This piece right here can actually remove so you can stick coins in. Now, if you saw my coin video, you know American coins are not very large unless you're dealing with a $50 or the dollar coins. I assume this is made for euros, or Ukrainian coins, Russian coins, which might be a little larger. But for American, I don't even use coins that much anymore. I decided not to remove this piece and to use it as a safe as intended. If you are interested in getting one of these, let's say the safe, this is how it would start out. Comes in a box, shows the picture of the item here, maybe something that it does, like this one opens, a little window, and it has a lot of stuff. It's mainly in English, has some Russian, but all of the information is usually in several languages, so anyone really can get into this. And the directions are very detailed. So let's open this up and take a look at it. This is not an assembly video. There's plenty of those out there, and I don't have the time for that. So it comes nicely wrapped in some plastic, unless you're getting nicely wrapped in plastic. And let's open it up so you can see what all is involved. Alright, so it comes right out of the box. And so usually you've got a stack of, so we've got a stack of sheets that have all the pieces. We have a very detailed instruction manual. We've got some sandpaper. It's actually Klingspor, which if you watch my woodworking videos, you know I use Klingspor brand sandpaper. Not a promotion, just that's what I use. We got a couple of rubber bands, those are important, and a bunch of toothpicks, and they're going to be important too somehow. So here is the instruction manual. Here are the, so this is all the pieces. All the pieces are on these boards. You've got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 8 boards on this one. And so, and they usually pop out, you work them a little bit and they'll pop out. I try not to be too hard on them, to just get them out. Here's the instruction manual. We've got a legend that shows some of the important pictures that will be used. Here's a tool that they provide. They also have wax. Now this set didn't come with wax, but here is a wax cake that I have from a previous, actually it's not from a previous, this actually is a candle. So this is something I just have. Maybe I got it from my wife, maybe she had a bunch of them. And so that has worked well in these projects. And then these are tools from other projects. I believe this one's from the antique box, and this one is from the treasure box. But who knows? They may have been reversed, or may have both come from one. But anyway, sometimes there's some little tools. In this case, here's the tool for this one to help you pop the things out or to reach something. And so, yeah, just very detailed information. This is nice. I think it shows which card these pieces are coming from. And so just very detailed information. And again, like I said, there's probably videos. uGears has videos on these things. They are in Ukrainian, but if you can follow along without understanding the language, it works just fine. And I've referred to their videos on some of the other models I've done. And so, yeah, just It's a lot of stuff. If you're interested in making one of these things, it is very, it's got a lot going on, but certainly is worth it if you're really interested in this kind of model building.